Okay, so I'm here to do a video on the so-called law of attraction. So, what I'm here to tell you first, I'm not here to tell you that your thoughts don't matter at all, because that is not true. What you think does matter. Because even in the scriptures, it says, basically, as a man thinketh, so is he. Right? Or in every quote unquote religion, or every major belief system, something about your thoughts is there. But I'm going to show you why the law of attraction that you see on YouTube and on Amazon and all these bookstores and everywhere else is basically BS. And the majority of the people making the videos and writing the books is still broke and have nothing. And the ones that are successful, like the ones that made that movie The Secret and all these other rip-offs, is all they ever produce is CDs, DVDs, paperback books, ebooks, so on and so forth. They never produce anything of real value. So am I here to say that books aren't valuable? Of course not. Books are valuable. But you got to ask yourself, why is it that the people that's selling this law of attraction crap, why aren't they making money by any other way except for telling you how to make money? You understand? So I can tell you how to do this and how to do that, but how many of them are actually doing the thing that they're telling you how to do from a real source? Instead, they're just making free videos, trying to get advertising revenue, hoping you watch them over and over, or selling you a book that when you do everything in the book and it doesn't work, they'll say, well, maybe you must have lacked faith, or you need to stay focused longer. The law of attraction is right along with the rest of religion. It's the biggest BS scam on earth because it's basically another religion in a sense. It's not exactly the same as religion, but what I mean is it's one of the only things where you can sell a product or provide a service that does not work and blame it on the customer or the client after it fails. If I make a truck for you, I manufacture a truck and you buy that truck and the truck falls apart after you've been driving it 10 miles, you'll immediately call and say, hey, I need you to replace this truck. No, I need you to fix this truck, replace this truck, or give me my money back for this truck. And I would have to agree because the truck I made for you didn't work. But these man-made religions, along with this law of attraction BS, when you do what it says, it doesn't work. And then they tell you it's your fault because you must be thinking negative thoughts or you need more patience. I'm here to tell you that's complete BS. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to first let you know that I'm not a physician, right? Meaning I don't have my medical license from the United States Medical Licensing Board. Although I am able to heal some people thanks to some gifts I have received from the Creator. No joke. I've actually helped heal some people of certain diseases that's not supposed to be curable. And I'm not trying to pretend I'm some kind of miracle worker either. I mean just using nature, just doing things in accordance with nature instead of going against nature or going against the human body. But nonetheless, let me type physician jobs and I'm going to just show you something. I'm going to put physician jobs in New York. All right. So you got these ads up here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to click on any of them because if I do, these companies will have to pay $1, $2, $3, whatever, just because I'm clicking. And they have to pay it to Google. Whereas I'm not a physician, so I'd be wasting their time. But I'm going to click on some that's not pay per click. Indeed.com. Let's go there. I'm going to just show you something. So I'm going to try to blow this up, enlarge this on the screen to make it easy to see. Primary care physician. So that's a sponsored job. Meaning they're paying to be there. But anyway, it says primary care physicians, upscale, midtown Manhattan, multi-specialty office is looking for part-time primary care doctor 1 to 2 days a week. Board certification a plus. Job type look like it's saying part-time, whatever. Next job, open pediatric physician position in Brooklyn, New York. We have an opening for a full-time pediatrician in our multi-specialty clinic. Education, doctorate. Keep that in mind, doctorate degree. Board certified preferred. Experience we will consider, so on and so forth. And we'll look at one more. It just says physician, medical weight control in Hempstead, New York, $100 to $150 an hour. That's the money we'd like to attract, isn't it? Right. Busy medical weight loss practice seeking to add another part-time physician for afternoons and Saturdays. Outpatient clinic setting, no calls, competitive pay. Now, I do work in the healthcare industry. I'm just not a physician. At one time, I thought about becoming one. Keep in mind, I thought about becoming one, but I actually became something else. Therefore, since I'm not a physician, no matter how I feel or no matter how much I think about being a physician, do you think these people are going to hire me? See, this is what I'm talking about. What is the law of attraction going to do if you want to be a physician and you don't have your medical degree? At best, you can be one of those people who do natural healing, which I actually do believe in, because again, a lot of the medicine that you take out here from these physicians is not going to work. Chemotherapy does not work. Radiation does not work. I don't know why people think radiation is going to cure cancer when it actually causes cancer. We know for a fact that radiation causes cancer. Yes, it'll shrink the tumor, but what they don't tell you is that it degenerates or it destroys all of the tissue around the tumor as well. So if you got a tumor on your spine, shrinking the tumor with radiation will also destroy your spine itself, putting you at risk, making it where you may not be able to walk. Anyway, let me calm down from that. If you were the patient and you needed medical services, are you going to go and see somebody that says they're a physician who does not have the license because they said they feel like a physician, they thought like a physician? They may have even read physician books, but they never went to school to become a physician. Are you going to go to them for services? Meaning like surgery. Because like I said, there's people who I've helped and they've actually been able to reverse or cure their disease. Having said that, I'm not a physician. I didn't pretend to be one. But I'm not telling you I tried to do surgery on these people. I just did common sense, natural health, in accordance with nature, in accordance with the Creator. Right? I've used it on myself too, and it works for me. I've used it on family. It works for them. Young and old, male and female. So, if you wouldn't hire or use a physician who just felt like he was a physician or like she was a physician, who really thought about it, who had strong emotions, right? But they didn't go to school, you wouldn't use them, would you, if you needed surgery? So you had to have a hysterectomy or something. Or you had to have your gallbladder removed or anything. Even something simple. You just needed carpal tunnel surgery, where they got to relieve the tension on that nerve in your wrist that's making it hard for you to grasp things and be as, dexterous as you would like to be with your hands and fingers. You wouldn't use them. The law of attraction is BS. No matter how much you think about it, if you're not a physician, they are not going to hire you for this job. Period. Let's look for a nursing job in New York. Now, see, I might be able to get that if I was a nurse. But if you're not a nurse, right, they're not going to hire you for this either. Nurse practitioner for wellness practice. They have to go to school for many years too. Not quite as long as the MD, but they got to go to school and work for quite a few years. $80 to $110 an hour. That's a nice amount of money to manifest per hour, isn't it? But here's my question. If you're not a nurse practitioner, are they going to hire you for this position? No. What if you feel like a nurse practitioner? You think like a nurse practitioner. You believe you can be a nurse practitioner. Then guess what? You need to go to school and become a nurse practitioner. And then you can get this money. That's called reality, ladies and gentlemen. These people selling you these damn books, these fake courses, they're getting over on you, selling you a hope and a dream. And if you're trying to use the law of attraction to win the lottery, I'm not telling you anything wrong with that. But the odds are the odds. So whoever wins the lottery is automatically going to feel great, going to feel blessed, going to feel that they attracted this and attracted that. Meanwhile, the other 100 million people who lost, you think it's because they were negative? You think it was because they were not controlling their thoughts? You think it's because they didn't endure? They didn't have the right mindset? Or those damn numbers just fell like they fell? You understand? Like Powerball and Mega Millions. You can think, feel, envision, all of that. If you win, it's simply because you got the right numbers. Period. So, it's really just that simple. I don't give a damn how much you think about attracting something. So here's how the law of attraction, if we can even call it that, really does work. This is common sense. They love to say like attracts like. So I'm going to show you what's like attracting like. I'm going to show you what that is. You see where it says upload your resume? When you click on upload your resume, and I'm not going to click it because you can type out a resume and print it, or you can do it on here or any website, or go in person to a job. If you create or earn the skill sets and credentials that match the type of job or career or even business, right? Because even if you're going to go into business for yourself, you still need some type of skill in that business. Still can't get around it. What if you want to be a doctor who works for yourself instead of working for the hospital? Still going to need to be a doctor. Even have your own private practice, right? If you want to be self-employed and just do house calls or see your own patients yourself, you still need to be a doctor, or you still need to be a nurse, or you still need to be, you understand, an x-ray technician, or study radiology if you're going to do x-rays. So I'm going to show you what like attracts like is. Make your resume look exactly like, or at least very similar. Make it look as much like the employer wants it to look, and they might actually call you for a job interview. Make your skill set and your credentials look exactly like, or as much as like the clients or customers want it to look, and they will hire you so that you can provide your services. If you gain the skills of an automotive technician, we'll go there. Right? If you study or go to school or become a skilled automotive technician, whatever way you got to do it, these people will likely hire you to be an automotive technician. And if they won't, these people might. And if they won't, these people might. Or you could work as a side hustle on your own. There's plenty of people might need you to change their brakes in their garage or in their driveway. They call them shade tree mechanics, but really, you're not a shade tree if you're a real automotive technician. You don't have to be inside of a shop to change brakes. You can change it at somebody's house in their garage and still make that money. You can charge them less money than the shop would charge them, and you can still make more money because you're not working on the clock. You understand? So, if you want to attract money from people who need automotive work, become an automotive technician. If you want to attract money from people who need to see the doctor, then become a physician. If you want to attract money from people who need a nurse, then become a nurse. It's just that simple. That's like attracts like. Whatever your resume looks like, that's the kind of job you can attract. So again, I know there's racism, I know there's prejudice, I know there's bias, I know there's secret societies, I know there's fraternities, I know that it's not what you know, but sometimes it's who you know. But in spite of all of that, no matter who your ass knows, you can know whoever you want. You can be in whatever fraternity you want to be in. If you want a job as a physician, and you're not a doctor, you're not a physician, I don't care if you in Mu Alpha Theta, Alpha, Kappa, Alpha, Delta, Theta, Sigma, Kappa this and Mu Alpha that. I don't give a damn what fraternity you in, who you know. They are not going to hire you as a physician, nor are they going to let you be their provider, even if you're self-employed as a physician. It's not going to happen. You can only be what you are. And the only way you can change that is to become what you are thinking about. So if you're thinking about becoming a physician, good. That'll cause you to pick up some medical books. That'll cause you to search for some pre-medical or medical schools. That'll cause you to enroll in some medical classes after you apply for the school and you are accepted. That'll cause you to keep studying in school, and you'll keep thinking about it and studying it until you graduate. Then you can get this physician money. If you want to be a natural healer, you're going to have to study natural health. Then people will pay you to heal them naturally because they'll know that you're not some quack. Because again, I'm not saying that all medicine is wrong. I'm a person who actually has worked in the actual healthcare field. I'm just telling you that the medicine a lot of times is poison, and that you don't need to try to live off of medicine. You need to try to live off of food, live off of nature. But medicine has its place in emergency or acute situations, right? But once the emergency is handled, or the acute situation or urgent situation has been handled, that's when you need a natural doctor. And natural doctors don't always have these credentials of a physician, although some of them do. But nonetheless, that's your law of attraction. Let me look up one more. What's something else people think is cool? No, children probably like this one right here. Young children. Astronaut. Nothing wrong with wanting to be an astronaut. Mental floss. I tell you what, let me get rid of that, because that's... I'll look up police officer. How about that? And security is related to that. Now, I'm glad I searched for this one, because the first thing that came up is transportation security officer. You don't necessarily have to be a police officer to be a security officer. But if you are a police officer, you definitely can be a security officer. That's law of attraction as well, meaning if you become somebody that's equipped, whether you're more than equipped for the job or you're at least equipped for the job, you can do it. So it's like if you're a physician or a doctor, you can also do the things that a nurse does. But if you're a nurse, you cannot necessarily do the things that a doctor does, although it's similar, because the doctor has to go to school for longer. A CNA, which is a certified nursing assistant, cannot do the same thing that a nurse does. They can do some of it, whereas the nurse can do what he or she does as a nurse, administering medication, giving shots, doing wound care, changing dressings, assessments, so on and so forth. And they can also help the patient with activities of daily living, what we call ADLs, what the CNA normally does. So your skill set, you can do everything at that skill set or below, right? But it doesn't work in reverse. It's just that simple. If you want to be a police officer, you're going to have to go to the police academy. I don't give a damn how much you think about it. Now, with some of the bad press that police officers have been getting, I know it makes you think some of them became officers without training. But believe it or not, they actually had to go to the police academy and get trained. Even though some of them is locking people up who are not guilty, planting drugs on people, slamming teenagers on the ground, inside the precinct, all kind of stuff. Even heard of one police officer anally raping a man outside. I couldn't believe it. Terrible, right? So they didn't teach that at the academy. I sure as hell hope they didn't. But technically, you need skills and training to become a police officer or a security officer. Do you see the pattern? Whether you want to do police work, whether you want to be a nurse, whether you want to be a doctor, And they didn't pop up many examples, which I guess I can understand. But if you want to be an astronaut, you need training. You need the skills. And when you make your resume look like what the employers want it to look like, that's when like is going to attract like. And you're going to get money that's like what that position would pay. That's whether you're an employee, that's whether you're an independent contractor, that's whether you're self-employed, or you are a business owner. You're still going to need the skills and or credentials for that thing. So you can law of attract all you want. And if you use the law of attraction to win the lottery, good. Meanwhile, the other 100 million people who didn't win that Powerball or that Mega Millions, they're going to have to do what the hell I'm showing right here, or something very similar. All right? Let me look up one more. Computer programmer. Yeah. Let me not forget about them. Since this is the internet, somebody had to develop this website that I'm on. Computer programmer, $45,000 to $65,000 a year, Brooklyn, New York. Look at this. If you believe that you have what we're looking for, please send us your resume. All resumes will be considered. What we're looking for, ready to start, blah, blah, blah. They said if you believe that you have, so look, you can believe that you're a computer programmer. But what they say, if you believe that you're a computer programmer, I'm just making it plain, please send us your resume and prove it. That's what they're saying. And if your resume looks like what they want it to look like, then like is going to attract like, and you might get this job. Or you might get this one. Or that one or that one. You see what I'm saying? It's just that simple, people. And it's the same in relationships too. If you're a man that's looking for a wife, if you're a woman that's looking for a husband, the first thing you're going to have to do is be someone who looks like or acts like or sounds like what the other person, your potential spouse, wants you to look like, act like, or sound like, or all of the above. You understand? It's in every part of our lives. Now, I have used this so-called law of attraction to seemingly manifest something out of thin air one time. But even then, somebody helped me. It's like I got a phone call and I got a job that paid significantly more than my previous job. I was looking for work at that time, so I needed, some work, money from somewhere. And this job, the person just called me up on the phone and said, hey, I know somebody that's looking for this certain position. You think you might want it? I said, it sounded like it was going to be kind of rough. It didn't sound like a dream job by far. But nonetheless, I knew it seemed like it would pay some money. And since I had just done some money manifestation thing, right, I said, let me go ahead and try it. So I was there for a short while. I didn't stay. That's another thing. When you manifest stuff like that out of thin air, you manifest the cost and the problems that come with it. That's what they don't tell you. All money is not good money. But nonetheless, I did have that job for a short while. And it did pay a lot more than my previous jobs. Matter of fact, it was like $6 more per hour. So let me see what that'd be. That'd be about $240 a week more. So yeah, I was making probably like 800, about 960. Yeah, but I was doing a little overtime too. So when you add in a little overtime, it wasn't major overtime. Probably just like an extra 5 or 6 hours a week. But that was enough to make it where this job was paying like $1,000 more per month than my previous job was. But I still didn't stay there very long because sometimes it was pure hell. Meaning I didn't feel safe trying to keep that job. You understand? I didn't want to get sued and face a lawsuit. When you're in the medical field, you're dealing with people, not apples and oranges. And if it's not safe for your license or your profession, you can lose your license. You can go to jail, whatever. Nah, I ain't having that. But I'm just showing you, so I'm not saying you can't manifest anything. But even that job I manifested, it was two things. Somebody knew me and they knew somebody that needed a person who had a skill set that was at least similar to mine. This job was a little bit above my skill set too. Technically, I could do it if you say right, but I would be stretching myself. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with stretching yourself because you're going a little bit outside your comfort zone. But this job was more than outside of my comfort zone. It was outside of a literal safety zone, meaning where your ass can lose your license or you're being required to do things that are beyond your scope of practice. There are certain types of nurses. There are certain types of physicians, right? And if you go outside of your scope of practice, that means you're doing things that you're not really qualified to do, even though you might can figure it out. And yeah, I wasn't ready for all that quick. So that's why I left. That way I didn't cause harm to any human being, nor did I cause harm to myself financially or legally or otherwise. But it was still a good experience though. It let me see that you can manifest some things. But my resume still had to look like what that employer wanted it to look like. So you can't get around it. I didn't manifest a physician job because I'm not a licensed physician. Understand that. So anybody that wants to say the law of attraction is that powerful, you can become whatever you want, show me one damn person who's a CNA or a nurse or a damn janitor who manifested a medical doctor's position at a hospital. Show it to me. If they did, I guarantee you they ass went back to school for years and became a doctor. And then they manifested it. So you can manifest that way. And I think this law of attraction BS has basically made it where some people think you really can manifest whatever you want, and it's putting you in la-la land. There's a process to this stuff. All right? So with that, I know this is supposed to be like common sense, but honestly, with these videos and crap I'm seeing, it's not. These people will make you lose your wisdom, your common sense. So I'm not telling you that you can't become a doctor or that you can't become a computer programmer or that you can't become a nurse or that you can't become an astronaut. But just know you're going to have to go through the process in order to reach those goals. If you want to become a teacher, first thing you have to do is educate yourself. How the hell are you going to teach somebody else unless you're first educated in something? If you're teaching elementary or high school or college, you certainly have to be educated yourself first. If you're going to do informal teaching, like teaching a musical instrument, you know, say if you're somebody who can sing or you can play the guitar, piano, flute, saxophone, whatever, right? You might be able to do that teaching without formal education just because you've trained yourself to play that instrument, right? Or you've learned it. But you still have to have that skill, even though you may not have to have a degree to be that type of teacher. So there's no getting around it. The law of attraction works exactly like you work. Why do you go to Walmart and shop? Because you know they got something in there that's like what you want or is exactly what you want. They got milk, they got cereal, they got crackers. You understand? They got fish, chicken, turkey, shampoo, deodorant. Right. They have something on their shelves that looks like what you want. And so that like attracted like, and you go in there and you spend that money. It's just that simple. Outside of that, the law of attraction works very little. So, if you want to try to use it to win the lottery, go ahead. I'm not saying I won't try it, because like I said, I did manifest that job kind of out of thin air, but it was still a job that I had to be at least mostly qualified for on my resume. And it was through somebody that knew me, that knew somebody. But they randomly just called me on the phone. So that's the manifestation part. I didn't call them. I just suddenly got a call on the phone the same day that I did that law of attraction technique. So some of it does work, but you still have to be qualified in some type of way. All right? With that, I'm going to say have a good day. Don't be discouraged, because you do need to believe in yourself. All right? You do need to believe in yourself. And if you want to know about the real law of attraction in more detail, you understand? Because I've told you about the real law of attraction on here as it relates to jobs and business and stuff. Let me know in the comment section. And I may put something together to really show you how to think and grow rich. Yeah, that's the title of Napoleon Hill's book. But I'm not just going to tell you what's in that book. I'm going to tell you something where you don't have to read hundreds of pages, think about something for the next 6 to 12 months, and still be on your damn job with no progress. All right? That's not what I'm talking about. There is a way to think and grow rich, and there's only one way I know. If I break it down, you could say it's 3 ways, but these 3 are all related. So it's only one major way that I know you can literally use your thoughts, your mind, your brain to think and grow rich. And it's a practical way. That's what I'm talking about. It requires some action, but there is a way to do it. But it's not, you just not going to think and it's just going to fall out the sky. No. But it is something you can do to actually get some results with your mind. That I will show you if you would like. So if you want that, like and subscribe to this channel and leave your comment in the comment section. And if enough people say they want that, then I'll do a video about that. Have a good day.